welcome to the WellPlayed DLC podcast, Australia's juiciest gaming podcast. I am your host for the week, risen from the dead like a phoenix, James Wood, and tonight I am joined as always by Zach Jackson.
Good evening, sirs and listeners.
Great.
Who are not,
and
who are
Ash
not
Whaling.
royal.
Of course, and also the token Tasmanian. Thank you. I like the trepidation when you say sirs and listeners.
Yeah.
There's a
Well, I
distinction
was
between them.
referring to you
Oh.
two as the sirs.
I
Unless
see.
there's any people that have been knighted that are listening to this, then also hello to you.
I wonder what the
Good
odds
time.
of that are. Yeah.
Well,
gotta be high.
You're going, pessimistic. I was going optimistic. But that's
Gotta
It's
be
like
high.
one of us getting knighted or somebody listening to us being
No,
knighted?
one of the listeners for sure. What's our UK listenership like?
Good. I can Sir David.
Yeah. On
Oh, it
your
did-
gov.
Remember, it depends who you ask, though, because you can like buy a lordship in Scotland. Remember, so like, you know,
Still
This is true.
counts.
Still counts.
Counts.
Still counts. On today's show, Ash has played a good chunk of Doom Eternal. Is that
No.
the? Nope.
that's the old one. The new one's Doom:
Okay.
The Dark Ages, but close enough.
You did the edit.
Doom. I did do the. I did edit that piece. Doom: The Dark Ages. We've got a preview of that. Zach has been playing Asylum. We're also going to have a really quick chat about the Switch 2 because we are recording this like the night before the final Switch 2 Direct, or like the first Switch 2 Direct, I guess. So we're going to get some predictions in there. But obviously, as always, first up, Ash, what have you been playing that's not Doom Eternal?
I've been playing Split Fiction with my
Mm.
wife, and
Mhm.
yeah, I can see why it sold the Brazilian copies and why people have a good time. I will say that
Did you
for
say
people
Brazilian?
who are Brazilian copies, yeah, a Gorillion copies. Like, if I don't know if it sold 1 million or 1 billion, just make up a word. It sold a lot. That's about it. But my heart goes out to all the people that played It Takes Two and thought, yeah, that was a good time. I'm going to take my non-gaming partner through the next Hazellight game, and it was Split Fiction, which is like at least like half a dozen points up on the difficulty scale. It's like, yeah, do you like platforming? Do you like platforming while you're tethered to each other? And if you make one mistake, you both die? Yeah. It's going to be fun going to wedding therapists and talk about that. Like, marriage counselors will say, when did the fighting start? I'll be like, yeah, probably during Split Fiction. But, yeah, good time. Good time.
Okay. I had heard about the difficulty jump, which is interesting from a studio that was kind of like relatively renowned for getting non-gamers on board. But I mean, I guess at some point you got to take the shackles off, right? Or the
I'm
training
still-
wheels.
It's not, the shackles.
Yeah.
Wedding analogs, everybody. I still think it's accessible. It's definitely not the same as It Takes Two. It Takes Two is like a gentle guiding push. Hey, in Split Fiction, it's more like you turn around and Dad let go of the bike a while ago and you're on your own now, which is fine.
Is there? I can't remember because like I've started it, but are there difficulty options? I can't remember if there's.
There's some cool approachability stuff. Like straight off the bat, I got rid of the mash button to activate thing for my wife, just because she didn't grow up playing Mortal Kombat Test Your Might like I did. So that's simple enough. Same with there's a couple like smaller aiming controls and stuff. So there's stuff. It's just more like mechanically the challenge is a bit more than beloved divorce analog game that came before it.
I have also heard that the writing is kind of dog shit again. Would you agree with that?
It feels
the
very
story is
safe.
serviceable, but well, it depends who you're talking about. Like, I think the two protagonists sort of have this jarring relationship that's sort of believable. Two people forced to share a space, sure, but the antagonist guy sucks ass. There's just like there's generic corporate bad guy man, but like this guy should be named generic corporate bad guy man, or is like, oh no, the shareholders are unhappy. It's okay. I'm gonna take care of it. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake, my guy. Like, can you lead into the motivations instead of just being defined by them? But whatever. I'm not reviewing it, so I don't need to give a shit about that. I just need to get through this and save my relationship with my wife before it's over.
Yeah. Universal experience.
I think it's a bit safe. It's very it feels very generic, very like what you'd expect. Surface level deep kind of stuff.
Mega mass appeal game. You don't want to do anything too out there, so corporate bad guy man.
Interesting.
And that's his entire definition. If I don't know, there might be some twist where he actually has some motivation beyond corporate bad guy man, but at this point, I just whatever.
In a sense, I get it. If you want to, because my understanding is that it's essentially a story about how corporate entities consume fiction written by real artists, kind of thing. And like, I understand you want to go maybe as like Saturday morning cartoonish with that as possible because that's kind of the world we live in at this point. But at the same time, I do think it's interesting that this is a studio now that has like back-to-back games that are widely considered to be like, oh yeah, they're fucking 10 out of 10, except the writing. Don't talk to me about the writing. I find that very interesting as someone who values writing in games, but I understand other people have different sort of priorities on where the medium should be headed, let's say.
Yeah,
It reminds me of a film. If it was a film, it'd be what's that film? I should have actually got this up before I said this, but that Kirsten.
Before you made the comment.
Kirsten, is it Kirsten or Kristen Wiig? Kirsten Wiig. There's a film where she's like a bridesmaid or something like that. That film would like
is it Bridesmaids?
It might be Bridesmaids. But like that kind of banter, like that kind of, you know what I mean? Like that kind of character chemistry, just kind of, like sure, like you watch it or you play it.
The one thing I do like is the chemistry between the protagonists, because they do actually have a believable, can we just get through this and can we stop trying to be friends, and then sort of begrudgingly, okay, I guess we kind of need to open up a little bit because it helps make sense. But yeah, my issue.
You named a character in your story after a cat that you had as a kid too? No way.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, like, it's more of the case is like at least one of the characters like, can we not get fucking lovey-dovey and just move on because this is
I appreciate
annoying. And I'm like, that's believable.
Yeah.
But...
Okay. Zach, what have you been playing?
James. I'm glad you asked. So prior to recording, hitting the big red button, I would guess, if we're going by pure chapter numbers, I am 90% through South of Midnight.
Hey.
So I think I'm at the final bit now. I was trying to pump it up.
How much of that are you allowed to talk about?
That's what I was gonna say. Like, when's this going?
Who cares? Let's just fucking. Let's just. What's Phil gonna do? Sue me, Phil. Nah. This will. The embargo will be up before we talk about this.
I have to do some creative editing, but we'll find out. Yeah.
No. It's no. The embargo is up when this will go up because So. I really like it. I'm not going to go in too deep. Maybe I'll talk more about it last week. What? How? Next week? Sorry.
Next week.
But I'm really enjoying it. Story-wise, I will throw that little bit in there at the end. The gameplay is probably got the flaws, if you want to call it that, or the concerns, the issues that we probably expected from this game.
Okay.
I don't hate it. Like I don't not like the gameplay. It's just, but we'll talk more. About it.
Is it like Infamous? Because I know people were seeing like the gameplay going, that looks a bit like Infamous.
If I say this to James, this will make sense to you. It is like if I played a bigger budget, more stylized, and probably better version of Unknown 9 in terms of its gameplay loop.
Okay. Yep. All right.
Go to a location, do this thing,
but with some nice ideas, maybe.
Yeah, like I really quite like the story, and I think we talked about it during the preview, but the art style is fantastic. I think the story is really, and it's quite dark. Like the story is a little bit dark. So essentially, you go to a bunch of different locations, and you I don't know what the right word is, but you relive these memories. Not relive, but you explore these memories, and and they are quite dark. But yeah, like I said, we'll talk more next week because we got other things to get through. Because I have been playing something else. If you want to jump straight into the content, unless you
just want to.
Oh,
well,
no, sorry,
I've been here for quite some time.
You haven't been here.
I've obviously played a lot of games.
Yes, my apologies.
In the interim. Like what? Sorry.
I said my apologies.
Oh no, of course. Yeah, apology accepted. I pulled up the PlayStation app to kind of see what I've been dicking around in since I reviewed Wonder Stop, which I saw you did the shout out. Thank you. Not great, bummer. whatever is what it is.
Okay.
I have gotten into Persona 4 Golden. It is the first Persona that I've gotten past like the opening hours of. So I'm feeling pretty good, pretty confident, pretty good vibes. Heartbeat, shout out. All my
Sure.
heartbreak and heartbeats out there. Playing a fuckload of Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist on PS5.
Nice.
Good
Mate.
shit. Good. Did you know that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is actually a really fun card game?
No,
I
I
suspected
stopped
as
playing card
much.
games
I didn't
when I
know.
grew up.
Mm.
I went to a store the other day here in Tassie. I walked in and saw a bunch of people playing card games. I assumed it was Magic the Gathering. I got closer. It was Yu-Gi-Oh! And I was way more interested at that point. And they
That's
were
it.
having a blast. Yeah.
It's a
I
blast
left
of a game.
because the smell of the room was a bit much after a while. But that doesn't take
Understandable.
away from the fact that they were having good, clean fun. Away from the Fortnites,
Exactly right. Exactly. Although I am sitting here on my PS5 getting sweaty against fucking terrible AI because I'm still learning the game. Turns out there's a lot of rules. There's a lot of reading involved in Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot of little text you got to pay attention to. But it's good shit. It's good shit. I'm having a solid time with it. I also played 10 minutes of Assassin's Creed Shadows.
How was it? Was it a good 10 minutes?
It was the same 10 minutes I saw from the opening of the preview that I did. And I took control of Noway and I hated the parry and I went, I respect myself too much to do this just because everyone else is playing it. But shout outs to our friends at Ubisoft. Great candle. Got a great candle. So,
Mine's still on a box on the floor, but
the Yasuke
shout outs.
one, fucking excellent. The Noway one smells kind of like
Okay.
dish soap, but the Yasuke one, give that a burn. It's pretty nice.
What is
They
it?
got like a
Okay.
little like a chip in the middle instead of a wick. It's very fancy. Yeah.
Have you not
Quite
seen that
nice.
before?
I've
No.
never encountered a chip candle.
Oh.
Chip?
Well, it's like a
Like a wood chip, like a bit of bark
Yeah.
or something.
yeah.
Instead of a wick, it's like
God,
a
I sound
long
like a
piece
rube.
of timber.
Yeah.
There's,
Yeah.
there's someone listening to this podcast right now who's like deep into candles and just like tearing their hair out, going, "What the hell are these people talking about?"
Exactly.
I thought
Right
I
on.
thought James would have been
literally
into a
wood.
candle, bit of a mood candle.
Oh,
Right, for a big
I love a
session?
candle. I love a diffuser. I'm all about the scents.
Oh.
I've just never seen this done before. And I also didn't expect the one labeled with Assassin's Creed fucking Shadows to smell incredible. So
Look, there's about a bunch of random game tie-ins that have turned out okay. Wasn't there like a hot sauce from a previous Assassin's Creed game that people really liked?
There was
Smells
a Bethesda one. There was a Bethesda
Yeah.
oh yeah.
for Doom. No,
There's-
not Doom. Redfall.
I don't know.
Redfall.
Was it
I don't
Redfall?
know.
Yeah, it's like a
Uh,
side product. The game itself, not good, but the random game of hot sauce, not bad.
Enduring legacy of Redfall. It's hot sauce tie-in.
I mean, they both give you the shits, just in different ways.
Absolutely. Zach, what have you been playing for content? What are you teeing up?
So I've finally finished, rolled credits on Asylum. So if you have not listened to any podcast before, this is the game that has been 15 years about that in the making. Announced
I
like
was going to
13.
say it was like 10 years in development, then you've corrected me. It's 15.
Yeah, so it was announced 15 years ago, and I believe from memory, muscle memory here, the Kickstarter was 13 years ago.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, if you want to read a little bit about that, there's an interview up on the website with the creative director and one of the founders, or the founder of the studio, Senscape. But yeah, so I reckon let's be honest here. If you backed a game 13 years ago, are you hanging out? Are you thinking that bad boy's coming out?
No. Not at all.
I mean,
I backed a collector's edition of a game that I love from a boutique company about 18 months ago, and I'm convinced I'm never seeing it.
it's never
So
happening. Yeah.
if it hits 12 months and there's been no updates, I'm like, scam. I was scammed.
I was going to say, I feel like the gaming grift has become so nuanced that like there's like 100 ways to not release your game, but still keep stringing people along. Oh, we have a slice of life coming soon. We're changing engines. Oh, just endless shit. But I mean, I respect for them actually getting the game out.
They did change engines. But yeah, so I mean, it's kind of wild. Like that's almost more impressive, like than anything. Like that it's still come out.
How long was Duke Nukem
stuck to its
Forever in
original
development
vision.
for?
Stuck to its original vision. If you've seen the headline, or at least the ideas that we had. Anyway, so Asylum is the first-person point-and-click game set in a mental asylum or mental institute. Sorry, it's set in the Hanwell Mental Institute. Institute. Oh, fuck, I don't know. I can't say that word. Anyway, it's it's if like a point-and-click game and a walking simulator got together and decided to hang out. That's what it plays like. Has anyone here played Myst?
Yeah.
No.
It's like Myst. So it's like a point and click game like Myst. So instead of controlling the character, for example, and so because it's first person, you basically just push in front of you, or you kind of, and then you're in an area, and then you kind of select on the different the action points or the interactive points in the in that scene, right? So that's kind of how it works. So you're not like walking through the game, and it's not like 2D kind of thing where you side on, kind of like a Broken Swordy kind of thing. It's first person. It's kind of neat. It is a bit odd at first. I did kind of have to kind of get used to it. But yeah, I thought so the story is that you're a returning patient who's come back, and he thinks that this basically he's got like a black hole of a memory, right? He wants to kind of try and uncover and remember what went on when he was at this facility, and he thinks it's abandoned because the place has been closed for a while, but he actually rocks up and they're going to reopen it, and then he has a chat to the receptionist, and she's like, yeah, no worries, mate, go for your life, just don't go in these certain areas of the building. Sure. And so from there you basically explore this mental asylum, you solve a bunch of puzzles, and yeah, you kind of uncover what went on, and that it's the atmosphere is very, very cool. In the interview, what was it? It was a Q&A that the guy put up on their own YouTube, but he said that some of it was inspired by a film called Session 9, and I think maybe we've spoken about this before, which is a neat kind of indie film, if you want to call it that. It's got David Caruso, I think, is the guy, or is that the guy from CSI, or is that his real name?
It does have David Caruso. You're right,
okay,
and it is the guy from CSI.
Yeah. So it's got him. It's got Josh Carr. Is it Josh Carr? There's Josh someone in it.
Josh Lucas.
Josh Carr's the guy I went to school with. Sorry, but anyway, shout out to Josh Carr.
There you go.
But
Shout out to Josh.
but yeah, so it's got and he was in Hulk or something. Anyway, but it's pretty neat, and it's a lot of it's about atmosphere, right? Like it's not an overly scary game as such. It's just got that kind of atmosphere and just the sense that like this is not a good place, right? The things occurred here that should never have occurred. It's about maybe took me about 8-ish hours, 8 to 10 hours. I actually quite enjoyed it. I won't go into it too much. There's you basically chat to a bunch of different characters. There's some patients that are roaming free. There's like a security guard that you get to chat to, another director. But there's a handful of characters that you speak with and you kind of come back to, and you find things that you then ask them about that unlocks other conversation dialogue, and then you basically go off and uncover the history. It's got this cool. I think it's meant to be set in the 80s, but don't hold me to that. That's just memory. But it's got this cool kind of aesthetic where it feels like you're playing an old VHS. It feels dated, but I don't know if that's because obviously it's been in development for such a long time. But they did move it to Unreal Engine 4 or 5. But it's got this kind of this kind of dated kind of feel to it, which actually works well for this game. Yeah, I'm sitting at about an 8 at the moment.
Sure.
For this, yeah, really quite enjoyed it. And
it's a horror game, right?
It's horror by.
It's a thriller.
Horror by label.
Right. Okay.
So they're calling it a bit of a horror game. I wouldn't say it's scary, but it's So they this team, when they weren't working on this game, in between getting some cash, they worked on Silent Hill Ascension, which I think is not highly received, but it's kind of that Silent Hill kind of the horror like that, right? It's a bit more atmospheric, a bit more that sort of stuff. Not
A bit more cerebral.
yeah, that kind of stuff. But yeah, if you like point and click games, check it out on Steam at the moment. I think they're looking at bringing it to VR. So
you said that it took them 15 years to make it? Is that the development time?
well, that's the time frame from when they announced it to when it's hit Steam
Right.
to be
okay.
sold.
was
I
gonna
think
say that,
they.
Apparently, Duke Nukem Forever has the Guinness World Record for spending 14 years in development. So I was going to say, if they can prove that they spent 15 years working on the game, they could pick up an easy win.
Well, I mean, yeah, like you look at when it was announced. It was announced in whatever 15 years ago, 2010. No, yeah, that's right. And yeah, I mean, they did do a bit of work on and off of things on the sides. So
It should call Guinness. Slap a new sticker on the box. Winner of a Guinness World Record. Don't say which one, just because
No one's gonna check.
scariest
That was insane.
scariest game ever made because people were so scared they lost their
Scariest-
money.
that was the first step of horror. Oh no!
Yeah, kind of neat.
So have you got all your Kickstarter rewards at this point?
I didn't back it. No, I mate.
Okay.
Okay,
God.
never mind then.
I only discovered it maybe like 8-ish, 7-ish years ago.
Oh,
Were,
only.
were any of the Kickstarter rewards like perishables? Like
I don't actually know.
stuff
I haven't actually looked.
Well, speaking of, I guess horror adjacent stuff, maybe taking some interesting next steps. Ash, you've been dooming.
I did a Doom. That's the
You
way
did a
I've been
Doom.
describing it to people. I did a
Mhm.
Doom. Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I got to fly out to Sydney to actually sit down and play Doom: The Dark Ages. Reasonably early. It doesn't come out till May, doesn't it? Like, it's
Oh, right.
it's kind of far off. It's not out anytime soon. I know that much. But yeah, I got to sit down with a specifically curated press build of Doom: The Dark Ages. It was sort of 4 specific slices of the game that I guess encapsulated sort of the 4 main experiences that they'd recommend people would have. Sort of like there was like a regular Doom experience, a unique sort of control style area, a flying section, and then just sort of a spin on what Doom is. And I had quite a good time with it because, I mean, we were talking, pre-potty, but like who's played a recently modern Doom game like Doom 2016, Doom Eternal? We got hands.
2016, I did. Yeah.
2016, yeah. Either of you play through or touch Doom Eternal at all? Yeah. Nope. Well, Zach, did you play Doom 2016 as well?
I did.
Did you think Doom Eternal and Doom 2016 felt pretty different from each other?
To be honest, I can't remember anything about Doom Eternal.
Cool.
So that is going to
Great
be very
sign.
helpful for this conversation.
As-
I didn't
as
like I finished Doom 2016. I did not get anywhere near finishing Doom Eternal.
Is
I
it
think
because your interest waned on it, or just?
No, I think it was
you
just time.
weren't
I think it was
vibing?
just time from
Fair enough.
that one.
Sure. Well, it's okay. Even with this rubbish amount of information you've given me, I can still make my point. Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal felt pretty different from each other. And now it's sort of Doom Eternal and Doom: The Dark Ages again feel pretty different from each other, but like in sort of cool ways. I found the evolution from Doom 2016 to Doom Eternal to be going in a funny direction. Like, it was very movement oriented. There was a lot of, you can grab the gymnast stick and fling yourself through the air, and it was just it was not bad. It was just different. And then there was like this whole, weapon swapping thing. You should swap weapons all the time. It's like, okay, cool. It wasn't bad. I just didn't vibe with it. And sort of the advice given to me when I sat down with Doom: The Dark Ages, courtesy of Marty Stratton, you know what you did, was Doom: The Dark Ages wants you to approach it with the idea of stand and fight. Which, I mean, it's easy to do when the first thing they give you as like a new mechanic in the game is a shield. So, that's straight out the gate. Shield. So as far as how is Doom: The Dark Ages different? Well, you stand and you fight. You can actually get toe-to-toe with enemies and sort of, you don't have to dodge out of the way, but you can. But you can use the shield either to block damage or to reflect damage. And that's sort of the big hook. And almost immediately, I sort of scoffed at the idea when it was like, do you know that certain attacks can be, quick blocked to effectively parry them? And genuinely, I think I vocalized in a room full of people like, Doom has a parry system. And then, like, within 10 seconds, I wish I hadn't said anything because it actually was really fucking cool. So, made a dick of myself, but what else is new? So, yeah, Doom, the Dark Ages, has a much more brutal, I guess, engagement. You sort of want to get up close to things. You read what's happening and react accordingly. There's still guns. You still shoot. You shoot a lot. But sort of how you react to the different enemies and what they're doing is what makes it fun in that moment. If a giant green projectile's heading towards you, green means you can reflect it, bam, shoot it back to them. If a demon that's like 3 times your size is about to punch you in the gob and his fist is glowing green, you can quick block it, you can counterattack, and you can literally smash them in the nuts with a massive chain flail, and it just feels epic, which is cool. As for the curated experiences, sort of the first one is just a generic sort of Doom thing, sort of corridor levels, go here, find a keycard, do this. Sort of made sense. It's what you'd expect from Doom. But the thing that made it really different is it had a lot more story to it. And I know, like, there's probably people that are going to go, like, story in a, Doom game. Doom narrative. Like, It's actually kind of funny. They said in the introduction to the session that there was a story in Doom 2016 if you bothered to open the codex and read it. Which is true. And Doom Eternal sort of leaned into a bit more with more cutscenes, but like Doom the Dark Ages, they sort of try to make the story feel a bit more organic. Like there's cutscenes that lead into levels, but then like as you're doing stuff, there's sort of like little storyline elements, like there's radio chatter and there's people that talk, and it sort of paints a picture. It's not a particularly thrilling picture, like in the sense that like it's not going to be deep, it's not going to be like life-changing or moving, but it's interesting and it's engaging enough that you want to know what happens. And yeah, I think it'll work. You got to keep in mind, like Doom: The Dark Ages is a game that is shipping with no multiplayer component. Like they need to have a game that is really awesome to play and people want to play it, and that needs to have a story that is entertaining enough that people want to do it. And like nobody's asking for Schindler's List in a Doom game. If they are, I want to question those people. But
did Doom Eternal do a story?
It did.
I'm like, I know that these games are doing a story, but like, a narrative
story.
Yeah,
I think it was more that like Doom Eternal had a story, but it was like it was less like, ooh, there's something happening and you need to do it, and there's a cackling bad guy, and what's going to happen with him? It was just more like, Doom Eternal started with, oops, the demons have gotten worse. Oh, thank God you're here. And then, other smaller, bigger set pieces and stuff. And there's, the occasional person sort of cackling about it. But I think Doom the Dark Ages is a lot more like, how did the Doomslayer come to be the Doomslayer? Who's the manipulating force that made him what he is? And why do humans think he's scary? And, because it's set in the past, you can get away with a bit of, it's Doomslayer Year 1 stuff, which is kind of cool. And I like it. Apart from that, it is a prequel. It's quite, well, I mean, that's why it's called the Doom the Dark Ages. I think it's equal parts. Wouldn't it be cool to just sort of like give the Doomslayer like, a spiked ball mace?
I'm so sorry. I have to ask.
Go for it.
I edited your preview. Did you not talk about a giant robot at one point?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Out of the 4 curated experiences, the 2 in the middle were, and here's the parts where you're technically not playing as the Doomslayer.
Okay. All right.
But you are playing as the Doomslayer. So, Section 2, you get to pilot the Pacific Rim mech that they call the Atlan.
In the Dark Ages? I'm trying to figure out the timeline of a Doom world.
So, in the Doom universe, if you've read my preview, Doomiverse, there's this interesting sort of approach to technology of fuck it, we ball, where, yes, you use a giant chain mace to bash people, but in your other hand, you have a plasma gun.
Okay.
And the way they approach it is like, it's metal, fuck you, it's great. So, in the other Doom games, you see Atlans. You don't pilot an Atlan. It's like the ultimate cock tease. It's like, hey, do you want to be the Doomslayer but like 10 stories tall? Well, you can't. Until now, where you can. And so yeah, there's like legitimately this whole Pacific Rim-esque like suit up, get in the cockpit, plug yourself in, grab your massive control sticks, and then it zooms into the new viewport where you are 10 stories tall and you just by chance have 10-story tall demons to fight. And it's awesome for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then it's just sort of there. And I mean, which is fine. Like, you think about any first-person shooter game, they always have sort of sections that are designed to make things different. Oh, it's the turret segment, or you know, it's the segment where you're on the tail gun of a plane. That's fine. The Atlan segment, put on the Pacific Rim soundtrack, rocket punch some massive demons. It's fun. It's fun. I just don't know how it's going to like slot into the campaign. Whether they're going to have like it's an Atlan section or it's an Atlan level, or I don't know. It's fun, but again, I don't want to do it for 20 minutes. 5 minutes is plenty.
Yeah.
The other thing you get to do that's not regular dooming is you get to ride on a cyber dragon, which, I mean,
naturally,
it sounds like, you know, something that a kid would draw in his pencil case in grade 7, and that's fine. But like, it props to the id team for making the flying section in a Doom game actually really approachable and fun. Like, the Cyber Dragon's like, you know, it's exactly what it sounds like. It is a dragon that's like half machine, half regular dragon. It's got VTOL wings. You know, it's got ridiculous laser breath. Like, it's pretty cool. And you do generally fly around these massive levels. They are visually dense and incredible to look at. And then you have to shoot things. And like, usually in games when you've got to shoot things, you end up sort of strafing and feeling like an idiot. But in Doom the Dark Ages, you sort of enter this focus mode where you hover, and that means you can shoot things easily. And like, it's a fine gameplay loop. There's nothing wrong with it. But then the cool kicker of these levels is that there are actually points where you land the dragon, get off, and just do a little bit of regular dooming. And that's really cool. Like, you shoot, again, going to say something else that sounds like grade 7 pencil case drawings. You fight giant demonic spaceships with your cyber dragon. And when you've weakened them enough, you need to land on the ship, go inside the ship, doom your way through a bunch of demons, find something that looks really important to keep the ship running, smash through it, blow the ship up. Of course, you're still inside. You're falling, and you land back on your dragon and go do it again. It's metal. It's very cool. Very epic. I don't know if it could carry the whole game, but it's very good. Yes, Zach Jackson, long-time listener. Go for it.
Well, that brings me to, you say metal, that brings me to one of my questions. How metal is the soundtrack?
I wish I'd addressed the soundtrack in my preview, but it's very good. Like, let's address the talented elephant in the room. It's not Mick Gordon. We wish it was Mick Gordon. I actually did a little bit of digging afterwards because I was curious as well. A lot of people said, "How is it?" I got sent a couple of tracks to use as part of the B-roll, and I thought these are pretty good tracks. Like, these kind of slap. And I did a little bit of digging, and I managed to find in the metadata for one of the tracks, it is a group of people, and their name is, and they've actually got quite a good pedigree when I looked them up. They are, I had it here recorded because I had a note for it. They're called Finishing Move Incorporated. They've worked on Halo Wars 2, Crackdown 3, Borderlands 3, Microsoft Flight Simulator, and the Callisto Protocol.
Huh.
I know, interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
But they've done a really good job. I mean, I don't think you'll ever fully replicate Mick Gordon, but it bangs.
Sorry, for a moment there I was like, oh yeah, Halo Wars. My brain kind of did like a several layers of years collapsing on itself.
Not just Halo Wars, but Halo Wars 2, because they did get a sequel to their game. Yeah.
Did. God, remember sequels? Okay, all right. So like from what I'm hearing so far, it sounds like you're kind of describing like a series of stuff where you were like, that was fun. That was fun. That was fun. You don't seem entirely like it doesn't sound cohesive though necessarily.
Yeah,
like
well, you've also got to keep in mind, I was given 4 separate slices of the game.
Yeah.
they also had cut sections out of those slices. So there was like cutscenes missing and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The first level that had the story component to it worked really well. I really liked it. There was this whole, demons are attacking a human city, but the angels, the Mekir, have this great demonic dam that stops them from getting out of the demonic realm. How are they in the city? The people who defend the city, they can't defend against an assault that's come from inside the city. We need the Doomslayer. And it's like, I'm pretty into this. This is kind of cool. Like, it was fun seeing that sort of demons aren't really a threat until they are kind of thing, sort of the pre-Doom kind of feeling. How you come to be in the massive mech, I don't know. How you come to be on your personal Mega Dragon, I don't know. All the context is missing.
Mm-hmm.
But what I saw in that first level, it felt pulpy enough to make sense, and it felt, there was enough elasticity that they could sort of stretch to whatever conclusion they think that would work. The other thing that was introduced was a bad guy that seemed, I don't know how to put into words, but like, he wasn't what you'd expect from a Doom villain. Like, he wasn't some massive horned pustule that's like cackling and like, yes, humanity. It's just sort of this quiet, kind of pretty looking dude who, we'll turn our enemies against each other. Yes.
It's the hot ones you gotta watch out for, Ash.
Thing. I know,
That's
it's
it.
the pretty ones, the quiet ones.
Hot demons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god, James is instantly gonna buy this now.
Look,
Yeah.
I was already on board for the shield. The shield sounds fucking great.
Shield.
I love a good parry. I love a good shield that's also a weapon.
Oh.
So I'm on board. Hot
And it
demons
is.
is a nice thing to throw on top.
I mean, like, if I took one thing away from it, I'd just say that, like, Doom with a shield just feels right, feels excellent. The last thing that they let me play, which was really cool, is they actually introduced me to sort of like a newish Doom experience that they refer to as Battlegrounds or Battlefields. I can't remember. It's like 2 or 3 weeks ago, but it's like, instead of having like a regular Doom experience where it's sort of like corridor, big fight, it's just a much bigger open area. And then they sort of throw some objectives at you and go, tackle whichever one you feel like first. Just go from there. And so it's not quite open world. It's more like sort of that weird moniker that Sonic sort of tried to push where it's like open zone. Like,
Yep.
there's, you literally look out at this massive environment and like you could just go straight ahead into a massive fight, or you could go either way and just start exploring. And like in my preview, I described it, it's like a Doom playground. It's like, hey, you got some tools, here's some opportunities to use them however you see fit. There's an overarching, objective that you will, like, as you dig around in the space, you will eventually complete it, but go nuts, experiment, have fun. Do you want to fight that big guy or that big guy or way over there? There's like a whole bunch of other things you can do, and aesthetically it looks cool, it runs beautifully. Like, that space was awesome, and I hope that there's like at least a couple of them, because I feel like those are the kind of levels that I'm going to want to replay, just because it literally Doom playground, go nuts, and it was really, really fun. So yeah.
Okay. Kind of sounds like id is throwing a lot at the wall here, in a way that like maybe they're just like seems like it's kind of in a transition period, just based on sort of even like you look at media reception to this preview build that you played. Some people love it, some people don't love it, and I kind of wonder if you're looking at a franchise that has a bit of an identity, not crisis, but just change, evolution. So
I mean, I agree with you. I've been doing my own digging around different people's reactions to the preview. The one thing that I've found is that there's no one who's outright hated all of it. There's lots of people who sort of like zero on a particular parts that they don't really vibe with, but everyone sort of has something positive somewhere, which, I mean, that's good.
Yeah.
I think it's good that a game company doesn't rigidly lock down the expectations of what they want out of a game. They make the first one, they make a sequel, and they go, right, this is the trajectory, and we're never gonna leave it. Every game you can have these expectations, they will be met, that's done. Doom gets to experience a really unique identity, being the grandfather of the first-person shooter. It's up there with like Wolfenstein, is like the thing that helped define what it is. As long as you shoot demons in the game, I think everything else is up to debate. Like, they can fuck with it however they want. And I think there's some pretty cool hits here. Like, I think the shield's a massive hit. Some of the new weapon designs are really cool. Like, there is a weapon called the Reaver Chain Shot, and it literally fires a big metal ball on a chain out of it and slams into people's like guts and then comes back into the thing. It is the most absurd Serious Sam-esque thing I've ever fucking seen. but it just works. It's just so Doom. So dumb, so Doom, so cool. Like, it just does the full 360 past being ridiculous straight to being cool again. So,
Mm.
you know, I'm actually quite glad that we didn't get Doom Eternal 2. We've got like a completely different game again. And the next game after this will probably again be completely different. And I think that's cool because Doom gets to enjoy a very unique situation. And that's just as long as you kill demons, everything else, you can do whatever you want. Do it.
Well, you can do it yourself on May 15th when Doom the Dark Ages comes out. It is May, yes. I did a little fact check. It's all good. We are fine.
Cool. I just have one last thing to share with you both while we're here. And for the people who get to watch this on YouTube, as part of my experience, as always, a gaming journalist is showered with trinkets for doing our thankless job. And so after getting to play Doom the Dark Ages, I was given this.
Little shield.
But wait.
Oh.
Yes, it is a shield saw pin, and it
Yep.
spins, and it's metal, and I think it's pretty dang cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
how sharp do you reckon you could make that?
I mean, honestly, it's the right kind of metal that if you really wanted to work on it, you probably could get it to cut through, like, I don't know, chopsticks or something. But I think I might just stick to it being a decorative item because I've got young children in the house. But, you know.
Yeah. So this is why I shouldn't have them. So you can pick your Doom the Dark Ages promotional pin and sharpen it.
So I took two things away from my preview experience: cautiously optimistic in the game, and this cool pin. So, you know, check it out.
There you go. There you go. Jade has also been dealing with some devils of her own, actually, in her review of Level Devil. She says, Level Devil is a unique 2D platformer that will have you fighting your instincts to survive unpredictable obstacles in its nostalgically simple worlds. Nothing is as it seems, and the game is actively against you. Rage if you want, but keep pushing, and you will soon escape hell in just a few short but entertaining hours. Gives it a 9 out of 10.
Did you guys look at that game just quickly?
It actually looks kind of cool.
Weird looking game. Yeah.
It looks like an Atari game, but like designed for like a modern masochistic audience. And like some of the stuff in there is like, have you ever seen like a really old YouTube trend that was called Asshole Mario?
No.
It was a ROM hack of like original Mario levels, but designed to be as infuriating as possible.
Okay.
It channels that same energy, and I'm here.
Like Mario Maker before Mario Maker.
It was, yeah. This is like way back. This is like in the 90s, and
right, okay.
It was designed to make people very, very mad, and so obviously the professional Mario players got onto it and were like, "We're going to beat this."
Of course. Yeah, naturally.
Fantastic stuff.
Speaking of professionals, Mark has also reviewed Koira for us this week. He says, the journey taken across Koira's musically emotive world is exactly what my soul needed in these dark times, and it's one you'll likely enjoy in equal measure too. Giving that also a big 9 out of 10. So, two big 9s this week. Yeah, that's it.
It's the really pretty looking one. It's the shadowy one, isn't it?
Yes. For a second, I thought you was talking about Mark, and I was like, yeah, I mean, sure, but like, this is an odd segue.
Mark, that dark horse. No, that's the aesthetics of Koira.
Yes, I have not seen anything of it. I edited the review, but that was it. So, does sound interesting though. No, like kind of narrative-based experience with no text. It's all conveyed through like tones and sounds. So, seems really interesting.
It's published by Don't Nod or developed. It's definitely published. Wait, I shouldn't lock onto that one. Yeah, sorry, it's published by Don't Nod.
Oh, there you go.
Developed by Studio Tolima, whoever they are. But yeah, this is that kind of isometric-y one. It looks really neat.
Tell you who's going to be nodding all the way to the bank this week is Nintendo. Super quick, I know we don't have a very Nintendo sort of centric cast with us tonight. That is okay. Switch 2 Direct is happening in, I don't know, about 27 hours or so.
Fuck yeah.
Just quick around the room. Final thing, like, what do you think we're going to see at this thing? Super quick. Or what do you want to see? Does anyone care here other than me?
I can drop the lowest of low balls and just say, they're going to introduce the C button. Like,
they do have to introduce us to the C button. This is true.
They have to do it at some point. And like the promotional materials have been updated and the C button's just materialized. It just cracks me up. But like, everyone's got all this patent information. There's definitely a C button. I reckon there'll be like some kind of this is the C button and this is what it does. What do we think it does?
Connect. It's the connect button. It's the social online functionality,
You reckon?
screenshots, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's the capture button. That's
Yeah.
what I think.
Yeah. Could see that.
It's Nintendo. It'll probably be like capture, connect, creativity. I don't know. Like
You know, Kojima's gonna come out and like, should we have C buttoned? You know. Zach, you got anything?
I think we'll get a release date. Sure, that's the whole point, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Sure.
Yeah.
How much do you reckon they're gonna charge for this thing?
I mean, people have been speculating, haven't they? There was
I
like
wanna
some leak. We got a US prize, you know.
Did we? Oh, I have not seen that. How much was the Switch when it first came out?
I'm just looking that up here.
I want to say
$5.99?
I want to say $5.99.
Was it $5.99?
$469.95 in
Yeah.
in Australia.
I'm gonna say
Is that the
$5.99.
standard one?
Yeah,
I reckon
standard Switch.
$5.99. It's Nintendo. They're not going to come out and be like, "Yeah, it's $1,000,000," because they won't do that.
No.
Oh,
Oh no. Well, we've lost Ash. He's rejoined. That's going to be havoc for something.
it will be. Oh,
We will seamlessly edit it, and I'll go straight back to my thought. It's Nintendo. They're not going to come out and just be like, "Yeah, it's $1,000,000," because that's one of their sticking points. They're always cheaper than the other ones. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's Australia. What's the Australia tax going to be? It's going to
Dunno.
be $6.99 and a jar of Vegemite. You know.
$5.99, but you get something with it. Like you get there's a perk with it. Also, just by the way, I'm not going to edit that in the video, Ash. That's there for the world to
Great.
see.
I
Yep.
will.
Can stand the audio as
I'm
well.
back.
It's a fun world that we live in now.
Remember, don't update your two-factor before you join a Discord call. Anyway.
This is the this is what the people want to see, the bloopers, the outtakes.
That's it. Makes us human.
I think you'll get a $5.99 and 6 months of Switch Pass. Is that a thing? Switch Online.
Yeah.
Nintendo Online. But that thing's now tiered as well, so probably just basic, you reckon?
Don't know. I'm
The
trying
original
to think.
Switch. The original Switch, was it? If you pre-order, you got colored Joy-Cons, or did you have to pay extra for colored Joy-Cons?
No, I think it was just two different models available.
You reckon we'll have something like that for this one?
I would imagine so. Have they shown colored new Joy-Cons? I think they have, right?
Have
I
they?
reckon it's one flavor.
I think so.
Okay. yeah,
Speaking of flavor, do we
yeah.
reckon Switch 2 game cartridges will taste terrible?
I can't wait to find out. Yeah.
Right with you.
Mm.
Yeah.
We can upload it to the WellPlayed YouTube channel.
That's it. Yeah.
We smell consoles. We can lick cartridges. It's fine.
So what was the prediction that someone did? Like new Mario Kart. Cool.
There's definitely going to be new Mario Kart.
Mario
Kart's
Kart's happening.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
in the-
true,
that's in the
true,
promotional
sorry.
materials.
See, this tells you how like little I absorbed of that initial. But I think
Yeah.
we'll get another big game on launch. There you go.
Yeah,
That's my big prediction.
Okay, so big game being from a Nintendo stable. We've had a recent Metroid announcement. There's a Mario Kart coming. There's a new Pokemon coming. So what does that leave? Do we reckon
Got to be
this is
3D Mario, I reckon.
3D Mario? You don't reckon there'll be
Yeah.
like a Zelda?
We just had Tears of the Kingdom. I just had it. It was like, what, 2 years ago?
I was
but
going to
it's-
say, you say that, but it's you know.
Yeah, no, I know.
Surely that'll get like an update or a patch or whatever you want to call it.
This is my prediction is that a bunch of Switch games are going to get like enhanced Switch 2 versions, and I think that will also include a like HD remaster bundle for like Wind Waker and Twilight Princess enhanced for Switch 2, Metroid Prime trilogy enhanced for Switch 2, just as a way of like making sure that launch lineup is as like, stacked as possible.
Do you think we get a big third party?
What would we get?
Yeah,
Grand
I
Theft
don't
Auto
know.
6 first on Nintendo Switch 2. Like,
No, I'm thinking like an exclusive. Like what's like a Mario and Rabbids? Not obviously, maybe not that, but
yeah, right.
Oh, Bayonetta 4.
So I reckon you'll get something. I reckon there'll be a third party exclusive launched game.
Okay. All right.
Go.
I reckon Elden Ring Night Rain is going to come out on it.
Okay.
Really? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we don't have long to find out, so we'll be checking in next week after we've all stayed up till 11:30. Well, my 11:30 tomorrow night to watch it. Obviously, we're all very excited to be there. Zach,
Can't wait.
yeah, it's gonna be.
What do we reckon for a
fucking
release date? Do we
tops.
reckon it's gonna
Yeah.
be mid-year? It's gonna be new financial year, new year, new smell, new console. You know.
July 18th.
You reckon new financial year?
I was
Yeah.
just gonna say like a month, but you're like do you have an hour as well? Like pre-order.
Well, not right now.
Specific.
Hang on, let me make absolutely sure of that. Yeah, absolutely. July 18th is a Friday. I'm fucking calling it now. Yeah.
Damn. Do you reckon we'll get pre-orders this month? Like, do you reckon they'll just end with like pre-order in the next like couple of weeks and then
Maybe
push it?
1st of June. Maybe that
That's-
might be quite late. Yeah,
That's a very short window between pre-order and pickup.
that's it. Yeah. Well, make sure you sign up for EB Games, your membership. Get in there, otherwise you're not going to be able to get one.
You won't be able to get a day one edition that has like, I don't know, a unique smell or whatever.
I'm going
Mario
June
pissed on it.
June 6th is when it comes out.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Sure.
Very good. Yeah. Ash, you want to lock in a date?
I'm still just gutted that their pre-orders didn't go live on March 10th for Mario Day. So dead to me, Nintendo. No, I reckon June. I reckon new financial year, so they can just kick off like a big Nintendo turnaround for the next year. Because they've been quiet for a while. Like there hasn't been big Nintendo releases for a while, so I reckon they're ready, just gunning for big push. Q1.
Well, we will see. Obviously we didn't record last week, and so we missed a lot of news. There is too much to go over, but a little Lightning McLean round, a little ka-chow, get in and out, you know.
Ka-chugga.
Exactly. So super quick off the top, Eidos Montreal has laid off another 75 workers. This continues Embrace's onward march into fucking hell. This is also paired with a rumor that's come out from one of the, I think, Digital Foundry guys, that Embracer Studios weren't given Switch dev units for the Switch 2 because Nintendo perceived them to be too unstable as studios, and they're worried the units would get out there. I love this as a concept.
It makes perfect sense that, like, you know, when the person comes to like clear out the office, then it's like, oh, it's a Switch 2. Like,
Oh, whoops. Yeah, exactly.
whoops.
Zelda movie is dropping on March 26, 2027. Zach has thoughts.
No, it's not a thought. I just want to add to the top bit so we don't have to go through this a bit later. But we were talking about Myst just before, but so Cyan, the developer of Myst, they actually announced that they were laying off some people as well.
Ah, shit.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Which is a bit sad.
You thought layoffs were done? You were wrong, son. This
They're never done.
industry is
No.
sick. The Zelda movie news, March 26, 2027, it comes out at the same time as the new Sonic movie.
Oh, that'll be a fun
which-
weekend for the kids.
To which everyone's saying, hey, it's time for another Barbenheimer. It's time for another like Doom Animal Crossing thing. Let's link arms and go see both movies. Let's all
Yeah.
be fun. You know,
Zonic,
you know, Zeldnik, I don't know.
Zel.
Isn't that the guy from Take Two?
Fuck. Maybe, I mean, this isn't really like notable, but like we did find out about the Zelda movie through Nintendo's new daily news app of all things. So it didn't get posted on Twitter. It got posted on their daily news app, which I downloaded and I haven't looked at.
Nintendo doesn't do X anymore, brother. You know.
Oh, okay. They dropped it completely.
Well, ever since like without going into massive details, Twitter API changed, which meant that like they couldn't do the integration on the Switch anymore for sharing stuff. And it looks like Nintendo's just then, we will no longer rely on an external source to do this stuff. So
nice. Good for them.
Smart.
Yeah, absolutely. Ash, you've dropped in here. Final round of the Minecraft movie marketing is downright unhinged. Can you quickly tell us what that's about?
Okay, so we're rapidly approaching the Minecraft movie release date, so we need to be getting to like those sort of mini featurettes that come out, and like we've seen the trailers, we know that the film looks pretty crazy, but like
have we?
At this point, like, I mean, I trust you've seen I Am Steve. No,
I watched that first teaser and nothing else.
Nothing else. Okay, well,
I'm
not going deep into it. It's seeping into me from other things, but like There's these mini featurettes coming out at the moment, and it just I have no idea what to expect from this movie because it just looks completely unhinged. Like, there's a trailer where Stifler's mum is apparently dating a villager. Like,
Is
Is
she
it
actually
Jennifer
Stifler's
Coolidge?
mum, or was that just
yes,
the, or was it the actress?
Stifler's mum, Jennifer Coolidge. She has a name, but it is Stifler's mum. Okay, but yes, no, Jennifer Coolidge is
But
dating a
Stifler's
villager.
mum is not in Minecraft, right? Like, I'm not.
She's in the Minecraft movie. She's not
Yeah.
in Minecraft. There is a subplot that looks
No, no,
like
no. What I'm saying is,
Stifler's mum
I
is-
know that Jennifer Coolidge is in Minecraft film, but it's not. She's not playing Stifler's mum, right? Like, that's
no, but she only
Okay.
has one thing she gets typecast as, and it's attractive older woman. So
Right.
she's
True.
basically Stifler's mum. Yeah. So there's a teaser of her dating a villager. Apparently, there's a bunch of just random clips of like Jack Black saying things that are in Minecraft. Flint and steel, chicken jockey. Is the film just like 2 hours of him just being like Minecraft thing,
References.
the Minecraft thing, you there, child, Minecraft thing? Because I don't know, it looks like that just based off what I'm being shown. So it's unhinged. Okay.
Are you gonna see it, Ash?
Yeah.
I have no reason to go see it quickly. I think I might have to see it because I just have to assess whether it is as unhinged as the ads make it out to be, or I've got free tickets, my guy. I don't have to pay to see this. You know.
Yeah.
I've got vouchers.
Very good. I also think it's worth noting it's not called the Minecraft movie, it's called a Minecraft movie.
I know.
I don't know why.
Vaguely, it's a vaguely threatening title because it's like
yeah.
there might be more.
Zach, this is very exciting for you. Sinking City has gotten a UE5 remaster.
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
Sure.
cool. Look, like I think, does every game need a remaster these days? Like, I don't know. I'm just so sick of just seeing, like, this game got a PS5 release, a PS5 port. Leave it at that, right?
I'm also a bit wary when a game gets like a UE5 remaster because
like,
there's porting
Five
tools
looks
to
like
take
that.
your UE4 game and put it on UE5 and then you just check some boxes for like, you know, ray tracing and shit. So it's like,
but you know, but that's where we're at now. Like, you know, we're getting like these Unreal 5 like remasters. The only thing I will say is it is free for everyone who has this already on
okay.
Xbox, Series X and S, PC and PC. Sorry, PS5. So if you
do the actual developers get the money for this one? Or...
yeah, so that is the catch, right? So if you have it on the PS, if you have it on the PS4, but if you bought the Nacon cut, if you want to call it that, and not the Frogwares cut, then you don't get it. So it's just, I think it's like, yeah, that's why there was no upgrade path for the initial one going from PS4 to PS5 because it was Frogwares actually put that out themselves. But there's improved lighting, you know, just basically the perks of UE5 there, and there's a photo mode and stuff. So for free, sure, like I'll go back and check it out. But I can barely. I'm speaking of sinking cities. I'm already fucking drowning in the games I've got now. So I don't
very good.
Thank you. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to go back and play it. But you know, if I get an hour or two, I'll check it out. But what's exciting and good on them. Good on them is that the Sinking City 2, which is actually on Kickstarter at the moment. I think it's the final few days. So I think by the time this is out, it'll be finished. But it's actually hammered its funding goal. So it had a goal of, I'm just going to get it up because I don't quite remember the numbers. Actually, when I'm clicking above this link on the website, there's an ad. You know, if you've ever been to well-play.com.au, you get some ads in your articles. There's some Phantom Skull rings that have just popped up on my.
There you go.
Yeah, good.
From AliExpress. So
those tailored ad experiences paying off dividends.
All right, so they're looking for. This is Australian numbers, but they're looking at 173,000 basically, and they're currently at 765,000.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow,
So
okay.
they are smashing it. There's some some stretch goals being unlocked, and they're also doing this little initiative where you, if you can send in yourself recording, I think saying yes. I think I should know. I did write this news
Yes.
piece. They will pick like 100 people and they'll put it in the game of like a chant.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
That's cute.
That's kind of neat.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
sure.
So
I mean, you're in a game, weren't you?
I have my tombstone is actually in Sinking City 1.
There you go. Here's your chance
There
to
you go.
follow it up.
So
Pick your best yes.
yes.
Don't we always?
No, there you go.
Fuck me.
That sounded a bit like Steve.
Vaguely suggestive yes. Wow.
Yeah, but
Just cut it out of this podcast. Send that. Print it. We're good.
Finally, Monster Hunter Wilds has breezed past 10 million copies sold. This is a massive success for Monster Hunter, obviously. Kudos, Monster Hunter.
I mean, it's good. It also means that now Monster Hunter has entered that upper echelon of being popular. So like proper popular, not niche popular. Popular. But
yeah,
it's done really well. The series producers come out and it's kind of funny. Came out with a statement explaining why it was popular. Like, sort of a bit full of yourself, but I did check it out. The statement was actually pretty straightforward. It basically just said, hey, doing a simultaneous release across all platforms was a good idea. Who'd have thought? Because, like, you know, previous modern Monster Hunter games like Monster Hunter Rise came out on Switch first. Monster Hunter Wilds sort of did a rolling thing before it reached PC. So I think it's kind of cool that they've said, hey, we sold a shitload of copies, and it was just because we made sure that nobody was left out. Sort of vaguely like, hey, other cross-platform devs, maybe, you know, try and do this. It's good. So, yeah, they also said that, you know, there's some core changes to gameplay that they think really resonate with players, and you know what? They do. I said in the review, yeah, focus mode, good. Keep it.
On that though, I'm just going to quickly Google it because I remember seeing, not different game, but I remember seeing that Assassin's Creed Shadows has done pretty well.
Yeah. Third biggest launch or second biggest launch or something.
Yeah. Assassin's Creed Shadows also, and this is like, they could sell 20 billion units, but they didn't launch to a mixed reaction on Steam. So,
a pleasant surprise for them.
I reckon that's the real victory for any Ubisoft game. But
it says has reached 3 million players. This was a few days ago. So
yeah.
Well, I think
engaged.
As of the last 3 days, Ubisoft have not released sales figures, which you can read into it one of two ways. Either the sales figures aren't good enough to brag about, or the sales figures are moving quick enough that they're waiting for it to plateau a bit so they can go, this number as opposed to this number. No, this number. No, this number. Yeah. But I mean, 3 million players for a new age Assassin's Creed game.
Well, it's not on any.
It's not on a Game Pass, like, is it?
Sort of. It's on Ubisoft One. Yeah. So you can hack your way through that, I think, and get it cheaply. But I don't think you can get it for free.
But it's still a sale, isn't it? It's not like,
I believe so.
I got a free 7-day trial and I'm playing Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I mean, that's 3 million people worth of revenue, just revenue.
I wonder if that's also reviewers as well.
I mean, 0.5% of people.
Yeah, no, I'm just.
And
I launched it, so I guess I would be part of that statistic.
You also got to keep in mind, there's so many reviewers that will just power through a game, write the review, and then that shit's never getting played again. So
yeah. Well, news, hey? Video games makes you think. 2000s film of the week. 20000 zeros, lots of zeros. I'm doing this one because, again, I haven't been here for a while, so I wanted to slip in there with one. I have a dog shit IMDb description for you.
Oh,
I love it. Hit me.
Science fiction film about an alien visitor and his giant robot counterpart who visit Earth.
Giant robot counterpart.
Who visit Earth.
Giant robot.
Is it a comedy?
No.
Okay, no, not the film I was thinking of. I don't
I'll give
know
you a
if
hint. It is a remake of a 1950s film.
Roger Ramjet. No idea.
What?
I don't
What?
know. Just,
What?
oh, sorry, not
Can
not
I-
Roger Ramjet. Roger Rabbit. Sorry.
Roger Rabbit, right? I'm not ready to get spoiled. Is there any casting stuff that you can give me? Is there a particular name that I'd notice?
Keanu Reeves is your lead, backed up by Jennifer Connelly. Shoutouts. Love me some Jennifer Connelly.
That's a good cast.
Yeah.
You don't
Kathy
see a lot
Bates.
of Jennifer. Really?
Kathy Bates.
Jennifer
Yeah.
Coolidge is Stifler's mum.
Jaden Smith.
It doesn't have
John
Jaden
Hamm?
Smith?
John
John Hamm.
Cleese.
Does John
Oh,
Hamm
no.
voice the giant robot?
Are we getting there?
Oh, hold on. Wait. You've described it
Uh,
like it was a comedy or a family movie. I think I know. It's a remake.
Yep.
I think I know what it is, but I'll let.
I don't.
Zach.
Nah, no. I can't. I can picture I think a poster. I don't know if it. My
I
Alien
can picture the
Invader.
poster too.
No idea. My Alien.
No, no.
Is Alien in the title?
No.
Okay, then no, it's not.
It's-
I don't think
Is
it's film. I'm thinking of.
Day in the title?
Yes.
Okay, then I know what it is. Do you want me to reveal?
Go for it.
Yep.
The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Mwah.
Okay, no, that
Beautiful.
wasn't
So
the
that
one I was thinking of.
that IMDb like synopsis. so,
I know.
So dog shit. You think it was like some kind of Warner Brothers Looney Tunes thing? Just like,
Yep.
an alien and his robot counterpart visit Earth. Fucking Bill and Ted level stuff. Yeah, no,
just,
I remember now.
just on that, did you see that Wile E. Coyote film is going to be coming out?
Mm.
Yeah,
Weird.
yeah. It got sold off to the same people that are distributing The Day the Earth Blew Up. That's currently
Oh.
currently had like 10 minutes in theaters, but everyone who saw it went, "It's wicked." So
Very good.
yeah, you know what, David Zaslav, you are a piece of human garbage, but at least it's going somewhere so people can see it. Because the funny thing is that everyone attached to that said that they had so much fun making it, and that like the effects in it are really cool because it's a live action animated duo thing with like there's characters drawn into scenes.
Mm-mm.
So I want to see it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Off tops. Zach, you haven't said much this episode. What have
No.
you been?
What have been
Checking
chowing down on? Started the
taking a bite.
new season of Gangs of London.
Oh yeah.
It's up to
Is
season
this a
3.
spin-off of Gangs of New York?
No, it is not. It
You
is
can see how I got there.
Do they have a crossover later where they meet?
They do not.
Gangs versus gangs.
Gangs of coast to coast.
I would say it if you made Peaky Blinders in the modern day.
Okay.
I mean, it's about gangs of London, so like it's in the fucking title, mate.
Just tell me,
Um,
is there some pretty wicked mustaches in it?
No. There's some very, very cool, very violent, very graphic action
I thought you
sequences, though.
You get the big sweepers because
There's a... I don't know if it's a kill, but there's a moment that involves a pool table, which is very, very graphic. But yeah,
Good.
so far enjoying it. I think that's pretty much it that I've got to talk about. Yeah, I don't think there's much else. Haven't really watched that much else.
Busy time. Yeah, I get it. I've found time to start Evangelion again, which has been a true joy. Yes.
Which Evangelion?
The original. The plan is to do the original, end of Evangelion, and then the rebuilds. I have done the rebuilds, but my partner hasn't, and vice versa for the end. And so we're gonna do a little like compare notes.
What are you watching it on? Is there a particular service where you could easily find these things?
I've been doing it on Netflix, which is killing. I mean, like the Japanese is on there, so it's fine. The English dub is terrible. I switched over to it so I could kind of like second screen it for a little bit because there's there's not a lot of it, but I'm trying to get through it in a reasonable pace. Yeah, I'd love a Blu-ray, a little crisp transfer would be nice, but yeah, still good, still great.
I've been meaning to get back into that. I did the rebuilds not that long ago, and remembered why I enjoyed it. So
Yep. You been watching anything or reading anything or?
I'm trying to read, but I'm not going to talk about books. But I will say that I sat down and watched the first episode of the new Daredevil series on Disney Plus, and then realized that I had missed a hell of a lot of Disney Netflix stuff. Do you remember the Marvel Netflix series? Like, do you know how many there was?
Quite a few.
Daredevil has 3 seasons. Jessica Jones has 2 seasons. There's another season of Iron Fist. I got halfway through Iron Fist and I was like, I can't do it. Like, none of them are great, but some of them are okay to good. But Iron Fist ruined me. And so I was like, watching the first episode of the Disney Plus series, I was like, holy shit, it's canon. I've missed stuff. There's stuff here that I'd like to see how it originated. So rewound, and now I'm watching Defenders. And you know what? It's carried by some very charismatic people. So I don't mind it.
Yep.
It's good at secondary viewing, but I'm going to catch up, and then I'll be able to see what all the fuss about Daredevil Born Again is, because I will have caught up and I can watch it without feeling like I'm missing backstory. Because, comic book fan, I know. You got to do the reading. So, not bad.
So they say. Oh,
yeah, well, you should. You don't have to. Just pretend you have. Say you did.
Yeah. I do just want to do one quick shout out. I remembered I went and saw Black Bag, the Steven Soderbergh new Michael Fassbender spy movie with Kate Blanchett. Fucking loved it. It is like really solid, just spy adult drama, 90 minutes in and out. Yeah, highly recommend it.
The first time I saw the trailer for that in a cinema, I was so enraptured because the trailer was cut brilliantly. There was enough happening in there that I was like, I'm intrigued. And then that fucking title card hit me, Black Bag, and I just lost my shit. I laughed out loud because it is the last title I expected.
Yeah.
Like, you'd expect some kind of other, like, hardcore, like, mysterious spy thriller thing, but just Black Bag. And I was like, fuck.
Yep. They say it a lot in the movie as well. So
do they?
Yeah.
Do they look at the camera when they do it? Black Bag.
A little bit.
There's one film that I'll quickly shout out that I have watched. I think maybe, James, you'll like it. Though I do say that a bit, and then you never watch them, so maybe you won't like it.
True. Yep.
It's called The Dark and the Wicked. Have you ever heard of this film? Basically, I was like, I want to watch a good horror film. And I was like, I feel like watching a horror film tonight. And then she'll pick some dog shit thing where she'll fall asleep. And I'm like, well, I can't fall asleep in a film because that's just sacrilege. Yeah. So I'll sit there and watch the whole thing. And then I'll be like, why the fuck did I stay up and watch that piece of shit? So I'm like, no. I'm in control tonight. I don't want to watch another terrible bad film. Let's watch a film that's actually got some good reviews. So I watched, The Dark and the Wicked, which is on Shudder. It turns out I've been paying for Shudder for the past like 6 months. When I thought
my trial ran out last month, I felt very sad.
I thought mine also ran out, but it turns out it did not. So
that's how they get you.
Yeah, it's on 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. Only on 6.1 on IMDb, but it's so it's basically about 2 siblings that come back to this rural farm where their mother is because their father is really sick, and then it kind of gets a bit cray from there. Kind of cool.
Sure. I like the poster. So
yeah,
good start.
Kind of cool.
It's a better description than the IMDb synopsis for The Day the Earth Stood Still.
That would not be hard, would it? Well, as always, thank you for joining us here at the WellPlayed DLC podcast. Head over to the site well-played.com.au to read all of our upcoming and current coverage. It's all happening over there. YouTube, WellPlayed_AU. Twitter, WellPlayed_AU, and Blue Sky, just at WellPlayed. Nice and simple and clean on that one. Keep an eye on the website for our thoughts on the Switch 2 review, obviously. And I guess we'll see you next week.
I guess we will. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
See you later.